guys, thanks for tuning in to Cupcakes and Coupons. Today we are going to make yeast rolls, dinner rolls, whatever you like to call it, but we're making bread. First thing we're going to do is add our yeast to a fourth of a cup of room temperature water. What I like to do is add a little brown sugar for some added flavor. I'm going to add like a half a teaspoon of brown sugar to my water, and then I have some active dry yeast. I'm going to add one package. It comes in a strip with 3 packages. I'm just gonna take my scissors and open this and dump it into my water. I'm gonna give it a stir. Gave that a stir, and I'm gonna let this sit here and activate the yeast. So you don't have to do this step with the already active yeast, but it's just something that I've always done and I like to do it. And you use sugar to help activate the yeast, and I use the brown sugar because I think it adds a little flavor. And so yeah, we're just going to do that and let this sit and activate, and then we will get started with the rest of adding the rest of our ingredients. Okay, so we've already added to our mixing bowl 2 cups of AP flour. To that, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to turn the mixer on and give that start. Just to make sure that it's all mixed in, get it all incorporated together. Next, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. You see a stick of butter has 8 tablespoons. I just cut off 2 of that, and we're going to add that to the mixer. And your butter should be room temperature. I forgot to do that, so mine isn't room temperature. And the next thing, I forgot a little salt. The next thing we're going to add is our water. The recipe calls for a cup of water. So what I'm doing, since I've used a quarter of a cup already for the yeast mixture, I have a half a cup here that I'm going to add. And I know that is only 3/4 of a cup, but I'll like it better with a little less water. You can make it the way that you like. If you want to use the entire cup, that's fine. You may have to adjust the flour a little bit. Now I'm going to add, if you can see, the yeast has risen. And so we're going to add that to our mixture. And what I like to do, we're going to add 1 egg. I like to just use the same cup, crack my egg. So if there's any of that yeast mixture, you can get it and add it to our mixer. Okay, so we add all of that, and then we start mixing. I like to start the mixture on low and then speed it up. What I did mention is when making bread, we use our dough hook, and it pretty much takes the place of kneading by hand. If anyone's kneaded dough by hand, it's like a workout. It's a process. Just wanted to show how I proof my bread. As I stated earlier, I have my kettle going. You can have it going on like medium heat or so, and I just have it so the steam can go over the bread and it will help it to rise. I will be back when it is ready to roll out our dinner rolls. Okay guys, it's been about an hour, and check this out. The dough has risen, and if you can see, there's actually double because I made another batch. This is a small batch of bread, and I don't like doubling the recipe because sometimes when you double recipes, they don't turn out quite right. So I made one at a time. So first thing we're gonna do is just take a little flour, and I have my slip pad here, and it's great for to use to make bread. I'm going to take this out, rolling it over and try to get some of that to get it all coated with the flour, because it helps it to not stick as much. Put a little bit more. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is take my dish, and I'm going to take more cooking spray, and you can use cooking spray or you can grease your dish with butter. I mean, butter makes everything better, right? I'm going to spray some of this in here, and then what I'm going to do is start breaking off small pieces of dough. And what I like to do is take them in the ball of my hand and roll them. And you see, you get a nice little roll, and place that in the pan. I will do a couple more. Try to eyeball it to try to get about the same amount for each one. And if your hands start to get a little sticky, All you have to do is either flour your hands or put just a little bit more flour on your dough. So another one. And another one. Working on finishing up. I have my last one. Going to place it in my dish. And here is the way this look. And if you see, pardon my floury hands, but I am cooking, baking. But I tried to leave a little space in between each ball of dough because it's going to rise and poof together. And so what we're going to do now is let this proof for 30 minutes. Again, I'm going to sit it in a warm place. I'm actually making a gravy right now, and you may not be able to see it, but there's steam coming from the gravy. I'm actually boiling vegetables right now to soften them up for a gravy. But anyway, so I'm just gonna sit this over here and let it proof, and for about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, but you'll know when they're ready. So I'm just gonna leave that there, and as you see, there's a lot more left. I'm gonna do the rest of them different, and I haven't done it in a long time, but I'll show you. Be right back. Okay, I'm on my last little ball. It has taken me about 12 minutes to make these, and in the 12 minutes that I've made them, look how much this has risen. So it's rising nicely, and this is kind of funny to me. I don't know how to work this, but these are the first ones that I made down to the last ones. As you can see, these are starting to rise, and yeah, these still have some time to go. I'm going to let these sit for 20 to 30 minutes as well, and I will be back with the finished product. Well, I will be back when they're risen, right before I put them in the oven, to show you guys.